The two local authors have teamed up on a new book that dives deep into the legacy of Ganado football. It's more than stats and scores. It's about the players, the coaches, and the moments that defined the community as a whole. Clint Hensley and Chris Daly are joining us now, and thank you both for being here. We appreciate it. We were just talking about, I understand the Friday football fever environment, growing up in at a school that's where everybody went. The whole community was there on Friday nights. So, Clint, you're actually a Ganado graduate. How long have you wanted to tell this story about Ganado and the community?
Well, after we lost to Timpson in the 2023 semifinals, I put a post on Facebook just acknowledging the team success we had that year. We were doubted a lot by everyone outside of Ganado on what our abilities were of that season, but the team itself believed in what they could do. And the signature win of that season was our quarterfinal win over Refugio, where we just dominated them. And we weren't even given respect on what we were going to do with Timpson. They were supposed to run all over us because they had Terry Bussey, which is now playing at Texas A&M. And we actually led them at halftime in that game. And we had several kids out with the flu that week, but they battled. They're battle tested. They played hard, and they were a little bit drained in the second half. They come back and beat us, but we were right there with them. And with only 3 seniors we were losing, I knew we would come back and potentially get to state and win the thing, because Terry Bussey told Bryce Ullman, our quarterback, after that game, next year's your turn, go win state. And I just knew the possibility was there. I'm considered the Ganado football historian, I guess you can say, and I had the information already on all the material I need to do a book. So in that Facebook post, I put like, I might write a book one day, and it got a lot of attention. And everyone was like, well, put me on the book order list, put me on, and I'm like, okay, well, everyone wants to see this happen, so I'm going to make it happen. And about a month later, in January 2024, I started kind of working on the project with the table of contents, getting the layout, and I'm like, well, let me stop right here, and let's see what happens in 2024.
Didn't want to jinx it, right?
No, I said, look, if we do go and win state, then I'll do it. And then about a month after we won the state in January, I decided I'm going to do it. And it's a finished product now. It all worked out.
All right. Well, Chris, you've covered Texas football for years. What really stood out to you about Ganado's journey?
Well, it's funny because I'm an industrial grad, so they're like bitter rivals.
Got an Indian and a Cobra right here.
But I tell you, I went to a game last year, but before state, I went to a game, and I had never seen such team speed across the board, especially the defense. And I went back because I run Lone Star Gridiron. And I wrote an article, and I commented on several of the shows I do. I said, this is the fastest team at this level I've ever seen. Guaranteed they will win state. And I happened to meet a guy there whose kid was playing. He said, oh, you need to meet Clint. And I guess he told Clint the same thing. And next thing you know, we're collaborating.
We are back with Clint Hensley and Chris Daly, the authors of Friday Night Warriors. And both of you focus a lot on community. Why was it so important to tell more than just the on-field story of that state win?
Well, for me, this is my 6th book. So I've learned that you have to wrap it around a story. You can't just spit out a bunch of stats. We have 100 years worth of stats on every team in the state on our website, but those aren't stories. So, that's where we dug in, and he did 99% of the work. Don't get me wrong. He did a yeoman's work in putting this thing together, had a almost complete manuscript when we got together. And then I said, we need a little story to it. We need some more action. And so I dug into the history of Ganado. And the Karankawa Indians were fierce warriors. They were very gentle people until you messed with them. and that's the way we kind of wrapped the story of the football team.
Yeah. What do you hope readers get out of it, whether they're from Ganado or they're from another community outside of Ganado?
If you're a avid, passionate football fan, it's for you. And that's like for those that are outside of Ganado. For Ganado itself, it's my gift to Ganado. It's anybody that ever put on a uniform that played football. Most of the story talks about from the 1995 season on to last year winning state. Prior to 1995, our program did not have much success. We had good teams here and there, but only few teams made the playoffs back in that day. And I did touch a lot of our early history since we began playing football, which was 1928. And then just basically I've acknowledged a lot of the players that played on those teams, the coaches, and just it's going to bring back a lot of memories for those. And it's just be a good keepsake, something for them to always look back on.
Absolutely. All right. Well, how can people get their hands on one of these books?
It's available on Amazon. You can also go to LoneStarGridiron.com, and there's a little banner ad there that you click on. It just takes them to Amazon. So that's the quickest, easiest way. Or reach out to Clint. Clint will have several copies that he carries with him too, so you can get a signed copy.
Or if anyone happens to be at a game this year, you're having them at the games as well, the home games?
Yes, we have one more home game left. I may have a few at that game as well.
All right. Well, looking forward to hearing the reaction from this and, seeing what people think about it. And thank y'all for coming in and sharing the story with us and, how it came to be. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.